man, the division, I'll get to it, but the division by 0. People that say, oh, 0, no man, let's forget about that man. -7, wrong. It's 1 mark for the whole thing, you know. So imagine you will put on all the work and you come down to your here so and you lose the mark because you write foolishness. If I have 0 and I divide by any number, what is this?
3.
0.
I heard 3. Is that true?
Oh yeah, you're sure you're true? A 0 here?
A 0, sir, a 0.
Alright, okay, let me explain something to you. Alright, and this number here, the numerator. Alright, this is what you're sharing. Alright?
Right.
So you're sharing nothing into how many parts? This tells the number of parts.
3.
So if you have nothing and you split up nothing into 3 parts, what are you going to get?
Nothing.
Nothing. So it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, you still get nothing. Now if you have it the other way, no, the other way around, let's say you had a value, it's a -3, but you're dividing it by 0, you will get what? No, it's not nothing. Didn't I show you the principle?
Yeah.
As you divide by smaller and smaller values, you're getting something. Let me keep it positive to explain what I'm explaining. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. But if you were to divide 3 by a smaller and smaller value, the number, your answer will be getting what and what? You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Try it in a calculator. So divide 3 by 3, then divide it by 2, then 1, then keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Divide it by 0.0001. You're going to get a very big number. So the closer you get to 0, the number is getting larger and larger. All right? So your result for this is undefined. Because if you could divide by 0, it would be such a large number. The number could not be written out. What's the fraction for this? I don't, it's a negative number. It should be negative. But don't round up. You round up here. Don't round up. Don't, if you get a fraction, don't round. You can use a calculator and continue. Alright, let's work this quickly. Alright, so alright, so number 1. So you're working out so you're given a function f of x is equal to -3x minus 7. Oh, by the way, if I had written this function as I know, man, I'll show you later. Yeah, so f of x is equal to this -3x minus 5, or equal to -3x minus 5. All right, and you're asked to find f of 2. A function operates like a machine. You know that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put something in, you get something out. Don't make your mind strain on it, please. So no, I am the input, not the function machine. So -3x minus 5, right? So that's the function. So you're gonna put in something in the function, you're gonna get out something. That's what it's saying, you know. So all right. So this number, x is always input. You're putting in x into the function. So if you see f of 2 here, all it's saying is that 2 is going to be your input in the function. Yeah, you realize that? What's the fraction for that? What's the fraction? I have the answer as a fraction in my head. I don't know the decimal.
Fraction.
So when you got this.
All right, let's see if it's right.
All right.
All right, so everybody's paying attention. So what all this is saying is that wherever x is in the function, you're going to put 2. So 2 is going to be your input, and we will see what's going to be the output. All right. All right. So this is going to so f of 2 now, -3 times 2 minus 5 equals
Minus 5
equals
-11. So you get fraction.
the eavesdropping, man. It's too much of a conversation. So this is going to be, the output is negative 11. That's what a function basically is. Right? It's a function machine, you put in 2, you get what now?
Yes, sir.
So this value, okay, let me represent it another way for you. Right? So let us say that we had a graph of this. Say we had a graph of this. Did I show you how to represent? Did I show you that functions can be represented as graph? Did I show you that? Yeah. So this is going to be, look at this. Tell me what is it going to be? Is that a line or a curve or what? This is what?
Huh?
It looks like the equation of what?
Upper line.
Upper line. Oh, you forget that already.
I don't know why.
Yeah, because there's a curve like that, square or cube or something. Curve. Yeah. All right. So all right. Let me not complicate it. It would look something like this because it has negative gradient. Oh, and no, it would pass through. It would pass through down the bottom. But never mind. Let me just do this. The y-intercept is negative 5.
Yeah.
So it would cut. So it would be down here.
Right.
But I'm just showing you something. So let's forget about the actual intercept. All right. So what this is saying is that when x is 2, right? I guess I have to show you the correct way because the value is negative. All right, let me show you down here. So you have a line, and the line is going to pass through. Right. So this is the x-axis. X-axis here. I'm putting the y. It's a little part that the positive part is there. Do you see what's happening? I'm not seeing what's happening. It's a graph, but the line is more to the negative side. All right. So that's why instead of showing it above on the y, I'm putting it below. So this is the negative side. So the positive part is up here on the negative side. Still this is the x-axis same, right? And it passes through negative 5. All right. Do you remember how to represent a line?
Yeah.
Y equals what? What's the form?
Y equals mx plus
Yeah. But yeah, so C will be negative 5. See, negative 5. That's why I'm showing you the most of the negative part of the y-axis instead of most of the positive part. You see? All right, so this is our function machine. So this function is negative 2x minus 5. So the input here is a 2. Yeah, so essentially it is saying when x is 2, what is going to be your y value?
Negative 5.
Negative 11. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. You know?
Yes, sir.
So when x is 2, you would come down to the line and you would get for y negative 11. So that is what the function f of 2 is saying. So you remember we were doing inverse and we rewrite f of x as what?
Why?
As y. Same thing.
I remember that.
You remember that? All right. It will come to you later. All right. So we got the first one. The next one was very easy too. F of 0. That means our input now is going to be what?
0.
And we're going to put it in the f function. All right, so f. I like to write about the original function, but you don't. So our input now is 0. So f of 0 now is going to be negative 3 times 0 minus 5. See that? Negative 3 times 0 is? Minus 5, which is? No, look on the board. Look on the board. We soon reach here. 0 minus 5.
Negative 5.
Use a calculator. Negative 5. So f of 0 is negative 5. All right? Any questions?
No.
No. Excellent. So we can move on. What's the question? Why are you watching length, madam? I thought I was learning maths. You need to just learn the maths. It doesn't matter the length. You just learn the maths. That's what you need to do and stop getting caught up into other things. So in our case, our function now is called g. Yeah, so this is the function. G of x is equal to 2x minus 1 out of x plus 3. And our input is going to be what in this case?
Negative 4.
Yes, so it's nothing. This is nothing difficult. There's no need to freak out. Alright? Input? G of negative 4. Guys, it's them simple mistakes. You can't be making these simple mistakes. What? How many marks you think? What each of these values? One. If you start it nice and you make a mistake on the body, you're not getting the mark. Alright, yeah man, you get half. You will get half, of course. So 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Minus 1. Negative 4 plus 3 is?
Negative 1.
That's your bracket?
No,
Negative 1.
negative 1.
So it'll be 9.
It's a bracket in here. Here, so or here? Here? No, you don't have to. It's just one thing. So negative 8 minus 1 is positive what?
Negative 9.
Positive 1?
Negative 9.
Nah. Oh, by the way, negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. I'm just checking the brains and I realize that some brains need surgery. Negative 5, negative is? Positive 9. So G of negative 4 is positive 9. Any questions? Brains are working? Sure. Oh, but the brains and the eyes must be working. All right. Now we're gonna do this one. So we were doing G of what?
Negative 3.
G of negative 3. So our input is going to be what in this case? Our input is going to be? Negative 3. Very good. So G of x is equal to that. 2x minus 1 out of x plus 3. Cool? Alright, so let's find G of negative 3. That means that now where x is, we're going to put
Negative 3.
you don't understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 2 multiplied by negative 3 minus 1 out of what? Negative 3 plus 3.
Plus 4. Oh, yeah, right.
I tell them to pick glasses long time. So I tell them again. 2 times negative 3 is what? Minus 1 out of 0. All right. So we'll talk about 0. Negative 6 minus 1 is?
Negative 7.
No, actually, negative 6 minus 1.
Negative 7.
And this no. I'm not going to talk about it again.
Yeah, just put that there.
We wanted to put it.
I'm just asking.
So we're going to leave the negatives of numbers here. We'll just do like that.
You cook, sir. Sir, cook at home. Very good. So when you cook, you give anybody any food? Daddy, mommy food? Oh, wait, just tell them. You just say, mommy asks you for the food, and you just get a pot and carrot to the table and say, see the food. That's what I do. No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong, but I don't need to penalize you, but you should know that. If you're doing mathematics and don't know that, you need to do English. Sir, all right? Sir.
You teach English, sir?
Yes.
Right.
So
we have negative. Negative 1. Just start, right?
No, you're multiplying. This.
Right.
Yeah, negative 6 minus 1. What is
Right. All you get is 1 is 0.
No, this is 0. Negative 3 plus 3 is what? 0. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0.
I think we can go over the 1.
This is negative 1. No, man, this is the top one. This is the numerator and this is the denominator. So, numerator, denominator. All we do is substitute and work it out, multiply. This is negative 2 times is minus 1. This gives you negative 6. Minus 1 gives you negative 7. That's what we did. Sure, everything's alright? I'm not seeing it. You're not seeing it. Alright, can we do the final one? And do something more interesting because this is very easy. Are the brains working?
Yes.
So I've been seeing some questions like this on paper. All it is saying, work out this, get a number, then add it to work. That's all. So you want to work them separately?
Yeah.
Because you may get mixed up if you work them one time.
No.
Alright, so it doesn't matter. Once you know what you're doing. So I'm going to work out G of 0 first. G of 0. So you got 2 times 0 minus 1 out of
0 plus 3.
Alright, 2 times 0 is what? 0. So 0 minus 1 out of, which is 3.
Right.
0 minus 1 is what?
Negative 1.
Negative 1 out of 3. Is that cool? So that is what G of 0 is.
Right, sir.
Next we need what?
G of 1.
G of 1. Are we paying attention? No, remember you don't have to pay attention, but what are you required to do? Guys, you should not disturb me when I'm attempting to teach. Everybody heard that?
Yes, we heard you.
So we worked out G of 0. Can we work out G of 1 now?
Yes, sir.
So G of 1, okay, with the function again. Alright, so it's going to be 2 times 1.
1 times 1. 1 times 1. No, 1 2. 1 over 4.
What was work done with?
Water.
What are we going to do with these two? Add them. So, therefore, G of 0 plus G of 1 now is equal to what? This negative 1/3 plus
Water.
that's a quarter. Equals what?
Negative 1.
Use a calculator?
No.
Use whatever you want to use, alright? By the way, you know the instructions on a calculator?
Yeah.
You know what to use that? You forget? There's a button, there's this button. The ABC one, A and B out of C. So anytime you need to put a line, just press the button. That's it. Alright. Did I show you how to find the value of a function? Value of x that makes a function undefined? Did I show you that? No? Alright, let's do an example. The middle. This and then this comes after that part. Yeah, but they don't have this. Everybody has this? Everybody, you don't have it? Oh, you forgot? Oh, you forgot. Okay. Alright, I'm going to use about the same. Alright. Oh, by the way, you remember to find inverse? I showed you to find inverse?
Yes, sir. So I'm going to catch you.
Okay, we soon get the inverse. Alright, I'm just giving out anyway. Alright, so if.
I'm correct on that first.
No, I'm not going to teach you. That question I'm going to give them to do. Inverse on something else. If f of x, and I'm going to say if f of x, I'm using about the same function. I'm going to use a different one. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter seriously at all. If f of x is equal to 2x minus 1 divided by x plus 3, find number 1. Find f inverse of x. Number 2, find, you end up with anything, madam. Find Alright, I'll help you. I'll do the second part. Listen, I'll do the second part. Do the first part.
So where will be first?
Yeah.
You want my place, sir? Anyway, don't forget to the food.
Good one.
You know the fine verse? No. Alright, I'm going to do it. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to find the verse. 2 minutes. You forget English? You did that from last year? Last year, what was it? Oh. It's kids. Those mistakes again. You hear me? Then he goes, oh, my this is so difficult. Right, verse? Right, have a look. Right, so right. Come on, start. It's common F. That's common F. That's your common F. Yeah. All right, no problem. Which next one? How you get that? You sure the working? Let me show the working in the box. You sure it's that? Mine isn't the wrong thing, you know. Use the inverse. No, I can't. It's the inverse. They're two separate questions.
Yes, sir.
This is right. Hold on, let me start with those working inverse.
Yes, sir. We all do this.
No, these are two separate questions. I'm going to teach you this. So don't worry about it. Just work this, the inverse that you should have done from last week. I'm going to do it on the board anyway. So if you're not sure, fine. There's a series of steps that you carry out when you're finding the inverse of any function. And you have it in your books?
Yeah.
What?
Sir.
Yeah, right there.
What coming yesterday?
No, man, yes, come to my office, right there. Doors open. Come to my office, right there. Please come to my office. We finished with the inverse?
No. Give me a second.
I need to check the brains, okay? I need to check the brains. I need to check the brains. Brains. Cold. I'm coming to check the brains, guys. So don't worry yourself. I'm going to check the brains. I'm going to check the brains. I'm going to check. You need to write the X properly, all right?
Sir, don't tell me that that's how the teacher writes.
Me write something easy. It's completely looking.
Funny answer if you do.
No, the answer is not important.
What?
Answer is not as important as the first. It was a couple of answers.
Then it matters, sir?
Yes, it matters. Well, I'm boss, my what? When you go my magic at minus, what is become minus? Magic, you believe in magic? But I don't.
But the answer right.
I will look at the answer.
You don't believe in miracles.
When it comes to maths, there are no miracles.
Can you rewrite it and you switch it also?
Yes, you're learning. I do it so long that you forget.
What?
You have done it so long time ago. So I go hard every time. I'm coming to check the brains. Coming to check the brains. Brains that should be working.
Oh, we do number 2 are you doing, sir?
Now I'm going to train number 2. But you should know what to do.
I don't know nothing, sir.
Okay, you know what to do from long time. Eh?
I'm going
If you know what to do, it's fine. But if you don't know what to do, don't write too much in a piece.
I'm going master the every morning.
Yeah, I said. Oh, sweet. Okay, who has the inverse? Very good. That means you're learning very good mistakes. Are you learning? You're not learning?
Sure.
Same principle. Switch, cross multiply.
Same thing you do with the bottom one.
No, man, you're going to fall, man. No, because you know the thing here?
Yeah, I was earlier last month.
The next thing, why is equal to that? You don't have y, you have y equal to that.
Oh.
You make a mistake about it. You come there, you go there? Something right in the answer. Plus trace. That is wrong. Alright, who else has the inverse? And you take and then do a survey of the bird. Well, that's not inverse.
Try.
So you know.
You can cover that. We make you one more. You already last week? Hold on, I didn't teach inverse. I'm giving. You have inverse?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. No, you need going where you need. Out of. Yes. I agree then.
Oh.
You get plus. No, I no problem, man. No, man. What's the right now? Yeah, but. Oh, hold on. Could be. But that is not impossible. No. I've made many mistakes. I'm just remembering. Oh, then they say, uno make the mistake, uno switch sign. When you switch letter, you switch signs, man. No, man. You switch signs, man, in the denominator. Or you switch all minus come in the denominator. I didn't let me switch now, we switch signs.
So, come here, sir.
Look at the denominator. You switch the sign. When you switch the letter, I'll do
I
it.
have the wrong thing, that's why.
No, man, you have the right thing.
No, it's minus.
But you see, I'm close up there, so yes, I have to start working.
There is a switch down your circle.
You cross multiply. You might cross multiply.
Sir, before you look, when the richer alone, what is this?
You cross multiply. Remember, you want to cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you want to practice the denominators. Okay, you don't start with oh, no, what no more bullets. For number one, inverse. Inverse of a number. Inverse is an expression. Could then cross multiply and find y. Transpose for y. I'm going to do don't Very good. So all right,
Yeah, it's to the.
What? The original function. So something is undefined what is denominator of numerator. Yeah, y equals x equals
Sir, so when this will start, come there, they look at that and I'm telling you, right?
so I'm going to also like all right, everybody ready now? Mistake. Oh, Shika. Yeah, mistake. I get frustrated. Minus is going to become frustrated. Magic bread. Magic toothpaste. Be careful when you're just showing like yes, correct. Here there is a magician on here. Here there is a magician. Here's a mistake.
Yeah.
But you just tell me that one minus, so that must be the same thing. Go back this way. Here there's a magic. You have to cross multiply and expand before you can get started. Before you can get the y. Expand. Yes. Yes, sorry. All right, everybody's ready now. So, apart from those eye problems, get glasses, people. I'm serious. Expand the bracket. Yeah, but he needs a glasses himself. You realize that? As soon as you work tomorrow, take the eyes, a nice sportive frame, you know what I mean?
Sir, you can get your glasses from the 21st of November.
But no, that was a one-off situation, all right. So you're asked. By the way, these two questions are different questions, right?
Yes.
Don't mix up yourself. You're asked to find the f inverse or the inverse of the function. Is that cool? Now if you're asked to find it, you can't start by saying f inverse is equal to anything. You know, you can't do that. Can you find it?
No.
No. So what are you going to start with? Let's start with f, the function, the original function.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do an easy one first. Everybody finish with the board? You all finish with the board?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to do that one. But for those of us who weren't here last week, I'm going to do a very easy one for you, so that you won't freak out. Too many people are freaking out in maths class. Don't know why. Yeah. Don't know why, but never mind. All right. Okay, let me give you an easy one. What if I give you this easy one? If I said, if f of x equals 5x minus 3. And I'm asking you to find f inverse. You should do that in your head. Tell me what's it. Did I show it in your head?
It is x plus 3 over 5.
Very good, get you're learning. But let us do the process now. You're very good, you're learning. I'm going to show you the process, all right? The process is we write the function. We don't have the inverse, so we can't write f inverse equal anything. You know. Some persons do that. I don't know why they do that. This is what we're going to find at the end. So we can't write f inverse equals anything. We're going to start with f of x, the function. So f of x is equal to this. 5x minus 3. This is 5, not s, in case we're not seeing properly. Yeah, that's what it should be. All right, so that's the function. Any problems? Do we agree? We see what happened?
Yes.
Just the function there. Now, there is a series of steps that you need to carry out. What's the first step?
Sorry. Yeah, rewrite.
Interchange what? Hold on. Interchange what? You see the y up here, sir? You see the y up here? Yes, you're gonna rewrite first. All right. So f of x is the same as what? Y? So y is equal to
2x.
You must know that.
You know, see, there's no tough.
so that's what we do first thing. Right? Then we're going to, I want to tell you what. Okay, let me rewrite.
Yeah, right.
Rewrite
Yeah.
number 1, let's rewrite. So instead of writing f of x, y is equal to 5x minus 3. So we rewrite.
And you press the X there.
Then we're gonna switch.
X with y.
Right, is that on? Oh, switch.
Oh.
Switch x with
Y.
who's on the board? That's the next step.
So X equals 5y minus 3.
Good. So instead of y, we're gonna have x equals to 5 times.
Y.
No, we're switching all of them. Switching all the x's to y's, all the y's to x. All of them. Not changing anything.
5y minus 3.
It's 5y. We did. This is the only switching we're doing. We never switched nothing before.
Okay.
We'll rewrite this. This is the same as y. We never switch x with y. We just rewrite the function. All right. So we switch there. After we switch, what's the next step?
Make y the subject.
That's it. So make
Y the subject.
y subject. Do you know what that means?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
Y
must equal.
And y must be by itself. All right, so you have y equal to something. No, y must be by itself. All right. So this is where y is. Y is right here. So we have x is equal to 5y minus 3. That's what we have. What is the subject here? X is the subject, but we want to make y the subject. Do you know the transpose?
Carry over, sir.
What is connected to y?
Multiplication.
5.
5. And then what is connected to 5y?
Minus 3.
Negative 3. Hold on. 5 is connected to y, but 5y is connected to negative 3.
Yeah.
Before we can get y by itself, we have to, get rid of them one at a time. One at a time.
Sir,
No.
you know, say, two people like, you know, we don't
Can't
want to,
subtract.
so what a few months now?
Calm down. Can we pay attention? You can do what you want and keep making the same mistakes. Yeah, we shall this. So before we can get y by itself, we have to go in stages. There's no single operation that can get y by itself here. All right, so the first thing we need to get rid of is what?
3.
The negative 3. You see, it's negative. So when we get rid of the negative 3, what would we be left with?
5y.
And to get rid of the 5, we're gonna divide, because 5 is being multiplied by y. And you can do anything else you want to do. You know, like Mr. Gator. All right, so to get rid of negative t, we're gonna do what? We're gonna add. So it's gonna be x
Plus 3.
x plus 3 on one side is equal to 5y minus 3 plus 3 on the other side. This gives you what?
0.
0. That is why I added 2 in the first place, because you want to get rid of negative 3. So on the right, what do you have on the right?
5y.
You have 5y on the right. On the left, what do you have?
X plus 3.
Ah, very good. So now you have 5y by itself. But you want to get y by itself. So you're going to do what?
Divide.
Y divide.
Because the 5 must be y.
Because multiplication is taking place between them. All right, so we're going to rewrite. And then, rewrite. And then divide both sides by 5. It's in this one, it's in this one. So on the right now, what are we left with?
Y.
On the right, we are left with y. And on the left, we are left with x plus 3 out of
5.
5. If you can't just shift to see. I don't want to go here. All right. No, is y by itself now?
Yeah.
Yes. So this y that you have now found is the what? Is the subject, and it's also the inverse.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So y is equal to, if you want to, this is a waste of time, but I'm not showing you. So y is equal to x plus 3 out of 5. Therefore, f inverse of x, this y is now f inverse. So f inverse is equal to now x plus 3 out of 5. That's your answer. That's your answer. So that's an easy one, right? Now this is the same thing we're going to do, but it has a little bit more factorizing and stuff. So if you weren't sure, now you know you're sure. You can copy that, and then we do this one. Yes, you got the glasses. I don't know why. What you were asking me. You went to the back. You were eating soup and all that.
Because look what I'm going to do.
The food not showing at all.
Sorry, I don't know where you're from, but it's showing it right here.
Oh, your brain is working.
Sort of show.
The brain is working. The brain is working, all right? Remember, just tell them you're on the age, all right? Are we writing? Why is my you finished right away, right?
Yeah.
So we need to do, undefined to find out what makes a function undefined. And we need to do what makes the function 0. And we need to solve the equations using the inverse. And then, did I have I taught the composite functions?
No, sir.
No.
Oh, like f of g and
No,
f
sir.
inverse of g inverse? Yes. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Never mind. We're going to do that. Nope.
So I can't come to my book.
Book. A notebook you mean?
Yes.
Your notebook is finished?
Yes.
You've been writing a whole lot on.
Hello, then you can give them a PP as it's a more thing. They don't
No, sir, yeah, we pay right there.
Yeah, I don't do it right. If you're smart, you write it. You're smart, you write it.
You said?
Yeah.
Can't take pictures. I'm gonna take pictures.
You said?
No, don't ask men for stuff that you know that. I could have no. Don't ask men for stuff. Right? Or women too. You stay there and it's protecting you. Save your money and buy a book. All right?
Sir,
We finished with this.
Sir, February 14th, I come over here and say, no one can take it down one.
Yeah, you can bet, but you will not be getting anything from me.
You never know.
Getting anything from me.
Sir said, "Ask and it shall be given."
But don't find it, sir.
Oh, you mean if I'm proposing? No, I'm not proposing it. I'm not proposing it. Are we finished right now? It's about the proposal, right? Not what you are thinking. Goes on his knee to propose to a female. Please, yes. So I don't know why you ladies laughing so. I don't know what you do, alright? I don't know what you do. Everybody ready now? Are we ready, guys? Everyone, you finish writing? Excellent. All right, ready now. So we know we'll be doing this one right here. So, I might need more space. Oh, you copied the question already?
Yes, sir.
All right, just make sure everything book because I'm not gonna rub it, but I'm not gonna write it back. All right, so this is where we are. Oh, we finished copying this one?
Yes, sir. Long time.
Everybody finished copying?
Yeah. That was all on it, sir.
So why never do that one?
You don't know what never do it that before.
Which one? I'm going to know, but it has more things in it, more steps. That's why I did this one first, for those who were not here, okay? Is that a problem?
No.
I'm showing you the easy stuff.
Not a problem.
So why the issue? You know, I'm going to show those who weren't here. No, everybody was here eating soup like you.
So was it, you didn't want some other soup?
No, Miss Sis, I cook my own soup. What do I eat? I go downtown and buy yellow yam.
When I go to the market when I buy yellow yam.
Mary. No, that's one thing I don't buy downtown. I don't buy meat. Eggs on the street. No, I don't know those things. No, yam, miss it, yam. Oh, I didn't finish. Chicken at the wholesale. Wholesale. I don't know. No. It's expensive. It's about, I bought some for 50.
Every Saturday we go market.
I get yam for $30. No, Mr. Wrong part of the market. Wrong part of the market. You go $30. Well, can we continue, please? I don't know how the rest of the money go. So you're fine. Fine, yam, no, Mrs.
So they give it this go.
Well, can we stop the argument there? Because we don't want to know the rest. Don't want to know the rest of it. We have children around. Okay, so we're asked to find the inverse of this. So this is the function. Same procedure. First thing, what the first thing we do? First thing, guys.
Rewrite.
So what we're gonna have? X, make it X.
No, Y.
No, this is Y. This is think. This already has X. X's, so this is Y, alright? So X and Y, alright? So Y now is going to be equal to 2x minus 1 out of X. That's the first step. That's the rewrite step.
Right, sir.
Then the next step is the what?
Switch.
It's the switch.
X equal
Switch X with Y. So instead of Y, we're going to have
X.
So X is equal to
2y minus 1
divided by Y
y plus 3. The cross multiply with this one.
Very good. Oh, no, hold on. What is your objective?
To make Y the subject.
That is your objective. Don't forget that. So we're going to make.
So you can put X upon the 1, though.
Yes, that's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do.
So
So we're going to make Y the subject. So x could be written as x out of 1. Did we change anything?
No.
No, anything divided by 1 is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's equal to now 2y minus 1 out of y plus 3.
And that's supposed to make
Yes, we're going to cross multiply. So what is it we're doing for y? We're making y the subject. Or in other words, we're transposing for y. Meaning we need to get y by itself. So a principle which we apply in transposition and solving equations. So if we have a fraction equal to another fraction, we can always cross multiply. By the way, it's one fraction by itself equal to another fraction by itself. That is when we multiply numerator by the denominator here and multiply this numerator by that denominator. That's what we call cross multiplication. All right, ready to cross multiply?
Yeah.
I'm going to rub this. So we have to get back to that. All right, so x is going to be multiplied by what?
y plus 3.
So what do we need?
X bracket.
Bracket y.
Why do we need a bracket?
Yes, more separate. I'm not together. Yes, my
Yes, very much. Not safe maths, madam. It's the correct thing.
She practiced safe.
Mr. Gager. Mr. Gager, please, you have. Yeah, don't get me in trouble, right? If the brackets were not there, what would the x be multiplied by? By nothing. It will be multiplied by the y alone, but it's by everything. So that is why you have to have the bracket. Because it's being multiplied by the entire expression. You need to learn the principle in the people. That's equal to 1 times anything is what? The same thing? So it's just going to be 2y minus 1. Is that cool? What is cool with that? Excellent. All right, expanding now. So what is our objective again? Make y the subject. So that means we need to get all the y's together on one side. So we have to free up this y first, huh? So we're going to free up this y by doing what? Very good. So it's x, so x what? X times xy, x times is 3x.
Plus 3x.
We can't just put 3x, we need the positive. This time is positive 3x. What's your objective again?
Open, sir.
What's your objective?
Make y. No, we are going to group before. Y.
No, your objective is to make y the subject. Now, in the process, which side do you want to keep y on?
On the left.
No, do you have to keep it on the left?
No.
You can keep it on the right. They will look slightly different, but I'm going to show it. Didn't I show you that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed you. All right, so keep it on the left.
Yes.
So if we're keeping the y's on the left, what does not belong on the left? Positive 3x.
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of it.
Carry forward. Minus 2y.
We're going to minus 3.
Negative sign.
Laughing.
Right.
Minus 3x on the left, and we're going to do the same. Mr. Gage, do you know why I keep doing this?
I can't understand for the.
You know why? Because when I first met you, you were making so many mistakes.
No, sir. It wasn't me.
And it's because of that,
It was the aunties.
No, you were making a mistake. You. This is what? This is 0. So xy is equal to 2y minus 1. You know, many people make mistakes with this, with the carryover business and fail them exam. You don't, like you. All right. Anyway, we're keeping the y's on the left. That means what doesn't belong on the right? The 2y doesn't belong on it because it should be on the left.
Oh.
Yes.
Can you just go back to the bracket there and come back?
We're expanding. Expanding x times y is xy. X times positive 3 is positive 3x. So it's like this times this and this times that. That's what we did. Okay?
Yeah.
And your objective is to get y is on the left, so we got rid of this by subtracting 3x on both sides. That will get rid of it. That's now how we end up with xy by itself. We get rid of the 3x.
How do you know when to extract, when to subtract, and when to add?
But you look at what the sign is. This is positive 3x. You see? Positive 3x. So for you to get rid of it, you have to minus 3x. If it was negative 3x, you have to add 3x. Because negative 3x plus 3x is 0. Your objective is to get rid of it, to get 0. If it's negative, when you add 3x, you get 0. If it's positive, when you subtract, you get 0. So your objective is to get rid of it by getting 0. All right, can we continue?
Yeah.
Okay, so because we want the y's on the left, what doesn't belong on the right?
The
The 2y. What kind of 2y is it?
Positive.
We're going to get rid of it.
So we go by
Minus.
Yeah, you know what's going to be funny? When some of us go in the exam and carry over and do foolishness.
blame you.
Blame me. That can't help you. Blame or not, I've got my pay already, okay? Learn that.
That is why you make the mistake deliberately 21st of November and I'm on that post.
Or you're in love with that date man or something? Eh? You need to find a girl or a wife or something, yeah? Too obsessed. Anyway, what is this? What is this?
0.
This is 0. So what is left over here now?
Negative 1.
So do we have all the y's on the left?
Yes.
Yes. Remember, what is your objective again?
Get y.
To get y by itself, to make y the subject. All right. So what are we going to do? We want
Factor.
yes. So we're going to factor out what?
Y.
Because y is what we want by itself. So when we factor out y now, we're going to have in the brackets
X
minus
minus
2.
2 people. Y times this is xy. Y times this is minus 2y. You can double check. All right, so it's still equal to negative 1 minus 2x. All right, and how many y's we have now?
1 way.
1. What is connected to it? The bracket. What operation is happening between it and the bracket? So to get rid of the bracket, what are we going to do? We're going to rewrite and divide it. All right. So we're dividing by x minus 2. So this into this 1, this into this 1. You see that? So now y now is equal to negative 1 minus 3x. This y that you know found is what? That y is now the inverse. It is now that is the inverse. So y, so f inverse is equal to this. Yeah. Therefore now f inverse of x is equal to negative 1 minus 3x the out of x minus. That's the inverse. Do we have any question? 3 where? 3 where? Here? Here? No, 3 is negative. Negative sign in front to the left of it. Why actually is negative of it?
Because it's a negative 1. It's a negative 1 minus 3x.
No, this can't.
Because it's different term.
We can't do anything to this. Because is this 1x? Is it negative 1x? No, it's just negative 1. So these are not like things. Right? So, like terms, thank you very much. Negative 1a minus 3a. What is this equal to?
Negative 4.
Yeah, because these are like terms. All right, let's talk about food then. Let's talk about food. All right. So 7a. Yeah, so 7 apples minus 3 apples is equal to 4 what? 4 apples. Yeah, so 4a. See that now? All right, 7 apples minus 3 bananas is equal to
7a minus 3 bananas.
7 apples. What?
7 apples minus 3 bananas
Equals 7a
equals.
minus 3b.
So 1 to the banana, 1 to, oh. How many bananas? There's nothing you can do, all right? Or in fact, look at it. Could you take 3 bananas and 7 apples?
No.
No, so there's nothing you can do because they are different terms. All right, so can you do this? Can this work out?
No.
No, because this does not be the same thing here. There's no x here, so there's nothing you can do. Now undefined, the expression remains the same. That's the simplest form of the expression in the top. Right? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so this is the inverse. Any questions? The number 2 is a different thing. It's a new thing that I'm going to show you. So, right. So number 2 is asking you now.
The value of x.
So it says find what? Find the value of x. That makes
The value of x
X
makes
and the
right.
which makes f of x, which makes do you remember what we were showing with the fraction earlier? You divide by 0. So if you divide by 0, your result is going to be what? Undefined. So it doesn't matter what. No, even by R0, don't stop saying to someone, stop it. It can't be R0.
Right.
By the way, look at this. 0 divided by 0 is still undefined. Any number, any number divided by 0 is going to be undefined. Wasn't it we said that a while ago? Oh, you don't remember? It means that it's an impossible calculation. Calculation can't work out. Everybody understand that? Do you see the importance of knowing this now? Because this, it's the thing now. If I want to make the function, this is the inverse, don't mix up yourself. This is the inverse. So when you go in the exam, it's the function we're talking about. Find the value of x, which makes f of x undefined. F of x is over here. This is f of x?
Yeah.
We see it? It's a fraction, eh? So for us to make the fraction undefined, the denominator has to be equal to what? 0. So all it is saying, tell us the number that we need to put for x. Which number can replace x, and so that when we add it, we get 0 underneath here. Which number? Negative 3. But you need to show the working. Alright? So
we got to write it down, sir.
Show the working. So I take down this note. So note to make the fractional function undefined. What has to be 0? The denominator. They're gonna stick on it. The denominator has to equal 0. All right, so let's make it undefined now. So f of x is equal to this. F of x is equal to that. Got it?
Yes.
Therefore, f of x therefore f of x is undefined when what? When what's the denominator? What's the denominator? When x
plus 3
is equal to 0.
So we need to solve this now. So solving it. What is x? How we solve x?
It's going to be x equal to negative 3.
Ah, yeah. For the rest of us who are working. What is connected to x? You can do that. What he said is correct. What he said is correct, you know. You don't have to show it all long thing, you know. I hope your brains are working. If you don't show the long thing, make sure your brains are working. Alright? So x is connected to positive 3. How do we get rid of positive 3?
Subtract 3 from both sides.
So it's x plus 3 minus 3. You don't have to show that to the people. You can just do what he did. I wish you all the best. Ooh. Minus 3 on both sides. So this works out to 0. So x is equal to x equals negative 3. Is that cool?
Oh.
As simple as that.
Simple as that.
But we could have put up one that in this.
Yeah, man, that is fine, no problem. So when x is negative 3, the function is going to be what? Undefined. You want us to check it? Do you want us to check it?
No.
Let's check it. Checking is not necessarily part of the answer. Alright, so that's your personal report. So if x is negative 3, where's the function is? 2 times negative 3 minus 1 out of negative 3 plus 3. 2 times negative 3 is what? Negative 6?
Yeah.
It's, oh, you got this in the reverse earlier. Negative 6 minus 1 out of 0. So you get negative 7 out of 0. So is this what is worked out to be? Undefined. But you found the x value, which makes it undefined. Right? No. Move on something else. I'll give you one to do, you know. It's just a denominator, it's just a denominator, the denominator can't change. The denominator, just where whatever it is, take it equal to 0, solve it. The next question now is to make the function 0. We're not using this.
No, sir.
So if f of x, I'm using the same function. If f of x is equal to that. Oh, right. F of x equals that. Find the value of x which makes f of x equal 0. What it's saying is that find some number for x. Find some number for x which, when you put it in the function, it will work out to 0.
So you have
You're going to form an equation.
that's what you have.
Alright, so hold on.
No, I
Sir, say
know.
So if we do it, or you would do it?
So, yeah. We have it. What is f of x? Not this. Not this.
Yeah, f of x is that.
Yeah. So we're going to form an equation. So form an equation. So this is the question. This is the question stops here. So forming an equation now. So f of x, we know, should equal 0. But we don't know what value of x we can put in. So we get 0. So we're going to form an equation. So f of x equals 0. So f of x is like that. 2x minus 1 out of, and it could be any number, it doesn't have to be 0. General paper had something like equal to 5 or something. So we just form an equation. X plus 3 now is equal to 0, ain't same thing? F of x is this, equal to 0. Can you solve that? How do we solve this? Yeah, so this is this out of 1. Let me rewrite it in case you can't follow any book. So 2. What is out of 1 cross multiply? Yes, I can. If is not, it wasn't what was up here. Cross multiplying now, so 1 times this is going to be the same thing. 0 times this is 0 times anything is what?
0.
0. So this times is 0. And this is what you end up with.
Yeah.
What do we find x?
Sir, you know,
Sir.
sir.
Subtract add negative 1 on both sides.
Very good. 2x minus 1 plus 1. This gives you
0.
So that's why you add it to get rid of it. So you left it 2x equals 1. X is going to be equal to what? So you're going to rewrite and divide both sides by 2. X equals 0.5 a half. Doesn't matter. So when x is a half, you realize what happens? You see what happens? 2 times a half is what?
1.
1 minus 1 is
0.
0. So the numerator ends up being 0. If your numerator is 0 and you divide by some value, I look at it. It's going to be half plus 3.5. You want to see it? If x is half, 3.5 or 3.5. So it's 0. You end up with 0 divided by 3.5 or 3.5. 0 divided by anything is what?
0.
Undefined.
0. 0.
Oh, it's 7 what? I thought it was 8:30. I was like jumping with joy. Can't believe it.
More second day,
And who?
Yes, it's divided by anything. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So that would give you 0, don't it? So that value of this value of x, if you put it in the function, you will end up with f of x equals 0. You don't realize that?
Yeah.
Who is not seeing it? No, because the burger will block the eyes. Right. So, who's ready to do one?
Yep.
No, there's one thing I need to do before. No, there's something. Wait, you're not following? Yeah, man, the composite function. But before we do that, there's something else. We solving the solve. How are you doing? Smile. Anybody's in the middle? Anybody's in the middle?
So you have tenants in the future.
Are you jealous? Are you jealous, Mr. Gager?
No, sir.
Oh, let me just do it. Let me just show you what I was saying for those who are not understanding. F of x is this. We wanted to know what value for x would we have to put in here so that when we work it out, we get what?
0.
0. So what we did, we equated the function, this to 0, and we solved it. That's what we did. It doesn't have to equal 0. It could be any value. I could actually find the value of f of x, which makes it equal to 5 then. Just form an equation and solve it. See? All right. So let me test it back for you now. So x is a half. If we put a half in here, 2 times a half minus 1 out of a half plus 3. 2 times a half is what? 1. Minus 1 divided by 3.5. Because a half plus 3 is 3.5. Don't it? 1 minus 1 is 0. Divided by 3.5 or 3.5. Once we have 0 divided, are we listening?
Yes, sir.
Once we have 0 divided by any value, our result is what?
0.
So f of x is 0. It will work out to 0. You see that it will work out to 0?
Yeah.
Alright. Anybody do this? Anybody do that? Here's something I need to show you, very important. And that is how to solve an equation using the inverse of a function. Alright, so there's another inverse that we're going to work out. All right, take this now. If, pardon me? More time. About it, what if I wrote a function like this? F is such that x is mapped onto 2x minus 1 out of. Would you freak out?
No.
F of x is equal to what?
3x minus 1 over x plus 5.
So this is just one another way of writing it. So this is another way of writing a function. So this is the same thing as f of x is equal to that. So please don't freak out if you see it written like this. And you can get any letter. You could get H, G, anything. Alright? So this is saying the same thing. This is just another way of writing the same function. There's a function f which is equal to that. That's all it's saying. Or such that x is mapped onto that. All right, now back to what I was saying. If f of x is equal to 3x find, sorry, never mind, I'm not disturbing you. Find one, f of x, f inverse, find x, no, hence solve okie dokie. Find inverse, please. You shouldn't need me to find inverse. I don't promise that I'm going to work on the board. This is very easy.
Not needed, sir.
It's extremely easy. Vern, what is it you're not seeing, Vern? You're not seeing something?
Yes.
Oh, you get glasses, man.
No,
The light shining?
yeah, top part.
It darkens. Main back darkens and you can see anything, you know? Hold on. All right, after we do this, we do composite functions. You find inverse F?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it sounds like go on, sir. Go on, sir, man. Oh, yeah.
So when the word entity
Inverse.
you said to put the two.
In the inverse. So. Oh, what?
What the word entity
Use your previous result to solve the current thing. So we're good to go now? Well, why am I excited? We're going somewhere? Are we going somewhere together? No. Never? What's up? No, not a freak. Not a freak like you, alright? What you know? Listen, I don't know it. I don't know the answer.
Hey, so we never did about the moment.
Don't worry about it. That's why. Yeah, it's right for that like people.
So the right line or you turn. So you know for the next one, sir? Hints.
Switch. And then cross multiply. That's why. I'm going to show you the number to don't do the wrong thing. Weird. Number two? The answer's number two?
No.
Come on, which was in your boy? This looks right. What happened?
No, I'm saying no to the hands, the two at the end. Yeah, I'm asking if there's a cross multiplying.
No. The hence means you use the previous result to work out the next. So hence here means use this to work out this. What hence means? I don't think you are back. Can we work? Can we rub this? Can we rub this? I'm born again. Turn back in.
What?
Turn back in. I'm born again.
Let's turn back. Imagine pictures.
What? You were? What? Oh, you said? Okay, wait, can we focus?
Yes.
I'm freaking out. I'm not freaking out. Can we continue? So, we have the first part of the question is to find what? F inverse. Very good. I mean, you're not sleeping yet. All right. So, remember, same procedure. There's no trick in mathematics. Straightforward. Everything is straightforward. So, if you want to find F inverse, we have to start with which function? With F. Yeah, f of x. So f of x. Please do not write f inverse here because you don't have f inverse yet. They can't say f inverse equal anything. It's f of x. So f of x equals. Is that cool?
Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Steps. Remember the steps now?
Yeah, they're here right now.
So you're gonna say what?
Y equals 3x minus 1 plus x plus 5.
Oh, Miss Beautiful.
So you can try to come up here some more for
Right. Next step.
switch x and y.
Next step is the switching step.
Yeah.
Do we have to write the word switch?
No.
So you like right of one, right, sir?
X equals.
Are you gonna switch?
All right.
You decide what to say. X is equal to
3y minus 1 divided by y plus 5.
excellent. Means we're learning. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. Can we? What's the next step?
Make y the subject.
All right. Can we write that?
Yeah.
All right. Make
Y Y the subject.
So we're gonna have x out of
1
equals excellent x. That's all. That is all required. Means you actually passed the exam already. Do you realize that?
Yeah, go on.
with the ones up
Yes,
there.
I will mark it. So x times this. So what we're gonna need x.
Open bracket.
Why are we in the open bracket?
Two terms.
Because you have an expression, yeah?
Sir, right there. Does it matter if you bracket the x or the y plus 5? Because still you're going to multiply.
Okay. Let us look at it. No, let us look at it. What is being multiplied by x?
Y.
Y only. So you realize that this is one entity. This is one expression. So if you want to write two set of brackets, fine, but you have to have a bracket for this. Please don't make those mistakes. So x times this is equal to 1 times anything is what? Same thing?
Yeah.
What is your objective?
Take where the subject.
So we have y over here and y in the bracket. That means we need to free up the bracket, eh?
Yeah,
So we're going to expand. So x times y is
X
plus 5x equals
3y minus 5.
minus 5.
1 side.
Now guys, as you work, the math is very simple. Just don't let your eyesight fail you. You know, don't do that, man. The math is simple. You know, the problem we're having is eyesight. So take out to get a discount, you know what I mean?
And then like,
Get that this.
Last we said, Mr. Gager,
yes, sir.
one day somebody gonna get on flat to us. You're gonna mess with the wrong person. Remember me tell you, this is only one. You think it's country? No, nobody can't have it. Mark, anyway, what is our objective? So we need y by on one side, eh? Which side is it? Which side?
Sir, always on the left.
It doesn't have to be the left. It can be right now. We are working the left. One right? Okay.
Look at on the right.
It's not on the right. Okay, let's do it right.
Sorry, you can't say that.
No, it's the right we're putting it, right?
Right.
No, it's the same thing. I'm going to show you why it's the same thing.
Put it on the
Okay, so if I'm keeping the y's on the right, what does not belong here?
one.
The negative one. How are we going to get rid of it?
We're going to add it.
Add one, eh? All right, so let's add one. So xy plus 5x is equal to, oh, we have to add one, eh? Both sides.
Yes.
Very good. Plus 1 equal 3y minus 1 plus 1, eh? This gives you
3y.
so you're left with just 3y, and they have xy plus 5x plus. So we're keeping the y's on the right, don't it? So what does not belong on the left?
5x plus 1.
XY plus 5.
On the right, we're keeping the y's on. The right, we're keeping the y's
So
on.
we use to the left.
So what doesn't belong on the left? The xy. How are we gonna get rid of it?
Minus
Minus what?
xy.
You're gonna have, because it's positive, eh?
Yes, sir.
So x, how you know it's positive, by the way?
Because
Because of the. There's no sign for the. It's not. This make it positive, enough.
No,
This is for the 5x.
Right. There's no sign in there.
This is for the 5x prediction.
So we don't know that already, sir.
You forgot. So we're subtracting y from x from both sides.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you guys will be glad I am elongating, okay? Better be glad because now I was just repeating what he said. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to see. But I'm not thinking what he said.
So wow, 5x
This works out to what?
0.
0. So you're left with what?
5x plus 1.
So you have 5x plus 1 is equal to
3y minus xy.
all right. So our objective is to do what?
Make y the subject.
That means you want y by itself, and you said you want to keep it on the right. Fine. So what we're going to do next?
Factor right.
Factor out what?
The Y.
The Y. So let's factorize.
So I have Y open bracket 3 minus X.
So on the left we still have what?
5X plus 1.
Yeah, we still have 5x plus 1, and on the right now we're gonna factorize y. It's gonna be what? 3. How many y's we have now?
1.
1. What is connected to it?
The bucket.
The bracket. What operation connects the bracket?
Multiplication.
So to get rid of it, you have to do what?
Divide.
So we're gonna rewrite. Yes, it's not the bucket, okay, you know that. Alright, we're gonna rewrite and divide by 3 minus x. So this is that 1, this is that 1. So you're left with just y. It's gonna be 5x plus 1 out of. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's an equation. So this equals y. Therefore, y equals. It doesn't matter. For those of you who worked it out and you may be wondering why you didn't get this. This is the same as negative 5x minus 1 out of negative 3 plus x. So if you got, it's the same thing. What you have. If
Negative 1 minus 5x over x.
Yeah, man, it's the same thing. So it's a negative 1. The 1 is negative. 1 is negative, and this is negative. It's the same as negative 1 minus 5x out of positive x minus. It's the same thing. So you guys need to be aware of the different variations. The same thing. Can we continue now?
Yep.
So now we have, so this y that we have now found is what?
Inverse.
So f inverse, if it was g, you would have to write g inverse or h or whatever. So f inverse. Oh, come on, stop it. The f inverse is equal to 5x. When I call myself this. Hey, whatever I have to do, you do it years ago. From last year. Trigonometry talking about. So we have now found f inverse. Wasn't that the question? That's the question. That's the inverse. Boy, that took long, boy. Oh, never mind. So we have done that. Now the next part. Oh, next part is not coming. Next part is solving. Could you solve this equation?
Yes. Cross multiply.
I don't know.
Cross multiply.
11? Sure. What you get? The current one. What you got? X equals 5 over negative. Oh no. You're doing something wrong. Just tell me this. Are you paying attention? It says hence solve this. If you took this by itself, could you solve that?
Long time, I could do this way.
No, as a question I asked you, that's not what you're going to do, madam. That's not what you're going to do. I asked a question. If you take this by itself, could you solve this equation?
Yes.
Yes. What would you do?
Cross multiply.
Yeah, put this over 1, cross multiply, blah, 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 solve, done. But please notice it said hence. So if you take it and say, yeah man, simple thing, solve it. If you do that, you're not getting the mark. Not the mark at all.
You're gonna use that
And
that.
so you're gonna use hence means you use the previous thing to solve the current thing.
Yes.
Yes. So in order to solve this using the inverse, we're gonna take 2 and put it in the inverse. And that will give you the value for x.
Hey.
Freaking out?
Yes.
Are you freaking out?
Yes.
You know who persons who freak out are called what?
Freaks.
Okay. So, man.
Sure, we all know that you are a freak.
No, you're.
We are the same.
No, I'm not a freak at all.
Sure, we all know that book, yeah, you know, 38.
TMI.
Guys, you're free to talk about your experiences after class with whoever, but not Right. So we don't want to hear your personal experience. So this is it. So All right, so we're solving. What's the function again? What's the function?
3x minus 1.
So-
3x minus 1 over x plus 5 equals 4.
Please make a note of what hence means. Did you make a note of what hence means?
Yeah, we need before. Previous result from what?
Yeah, that's what hence means. If it says hence or otherwise, then you can use anything. But if it says hence alone, use the previous one, right? Something I worked out before. So make note of that. All right, so we are solving 3x minus 1 out of equals 2. 2 is how much? 2 was equal to?
Yeah.
So that's what we're solving. All right. So in order now, so to solve the equation, using F inverse, we take that. So we take
Inverse will use.
is the inverse we're going to use. So to solve the equation using F inverse, we take 2 and substitute. So whatever number is here, doesn't matter what number is there. Take 2 and substitute it into F inverse of x. All right. So essentially, now x is what we're solving for. X is going to be equal to F inverse of 2. But F is going to yes, we're going to work it. So so F inverse. So this is what you're going to work on. So F inverse, we know. You get your chance to try. So F inverse is this 5x plus 1. Therefore, F inverse of 2 now. If 5 times 2 plus 1 out of 3 minus 2.
That's the inverse.
Sir.
The inverse is just the one.
No, we have to use that one because it's the end.
No, sir, you don't want everybody to do it.
What?
It's the end, so you have to use that.
No.
Previous result.
Sir, the previous result.
Remember, set this answer and that.
So what is the inverse? What is the inverse?
This is the inverse.
Sir?
What is the inverse?
That.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, we lost the inverse in a board.
What? Oh, okay. Which one you want us to use? What do you want us to use? Oh, you mean the negative one? Oh, you mean the other version of the inverse? You get the same thing.
No.
All right. Calm down. No, I understand what you're saying. Calm down. Oh, you mean the left-hand side one? Oh, what you got for the left-hand side? Negative 5x?
Negative 1 minus 5x.
Yeah, man, the same thing. Okay, let me put R in. Put R in your book. So R F inverse is equal to negative 1.
Steph, go work that 2 times.
No, it's the same thing again, very easy. So it's the same thing. You can prove it to you like the same thing. If you factor out negative 1 from each of the numerators,
Sir, but now
why you got the denominator? Negative x plus.
I ask you with the add.
That's what you got, Miss.
Yes, sir.
Negative x. All right. So let me use that. Okay, all right. Calm down. Let me use that one. Did I say it wrong?
yes, that's what it's called.
Okay, maybe I'm sorry. Okay, let me work on it.
Sir.
Sir,
Sir, we get negative x. Negative 1 minus 10.
X minus 3.
Sir, do you think?
And x is 2
What you got?
minus 3. Down at the bottom, the denominator.
Oh, this is the same as that. Oh, sorry, this is wrong. This should have been x minus 2. Sorry, I didn't see it.
Some laxity, we should have added it.
You really need that.
No, if you are giving it.
Sir, do we not do it?
All right, so this is what you want. Use. All right, so negative.
No.
Sir, may I get things on up again? So, you know,
Jesus. So 2 minus 3.
All right, okay, let's go. All right, so it's gonna be negative 1 minus 5 times 2.
Yeah, 2 minus 3.
2 minus 3, that 2 minus 3.
Negative 1. Negative 11.
Negative 11.
So what you got?
Same answer. 11 we get.
The first time you got 11?
Yes.
What did you
11
put
we
it
get.
in? What did you substitute it in?
Sir,
in
do
the
it
previous
answer.
result, sir, that's
Oh, I said I was wrong. What did you put it in?
Sir, we can't believe that you're wrong again.
Sir, the same thing.
Let me see.
For you. Sorry.
Sir, doing exam already. McLean Feb.
So that's okay because you're not perfect.
What is the inverse?
That's the same thing.
But it's wrong.
I'll see you later.
It is going to be wrong.
Sir, come straight.
So even though it doesn't matter what it was. You put it in f of x. F of x is what? X plus, and you got 11. It is still wrong because it's not f of x. So even if you get a number, it doesn't matter if you get a number. It's wrong because you should have put it first. Alright?
So, right?
You right? So guys, are we paying attention?
Yes, sir.
No, the original function was this, eh?
Yeah.
Alright?
Put it in that.
Put
Put in the 2 in there.
But this, but hold on. Oi, Kyle, this doesn't give you 11 if you put in original function. It doesn't give you 11. It doesn't give you 11. It does not give you 11. This is the function. What did you do? To find what? The inverse.
Yes, sir. Let's work with that. Solve the equation and find x and s.
Oh, you solve the equation? No. Yeah, we know we can solve it, but we are required to use the inverse. Because hence, this is the only method they want. Alright? So any other method will be wrong. Even if you get the same thing.
So the question like the hence, I forgot that equation, just forget about the time you just totally forget about that. The
You mean if the hence is there?
yeah.
Yeah, you have to use the inverse. If there was no hence and it says solve, using hence or otherwise solve, fine, use any method. But once the hence is there, you will have to use something that I did previously to solve.
If the hence wasn't there, I use solve. Cross multiply.
Yeah, it's cross. No, man, it's cross multiply and solve. Alright, so this x, so this is no x. So x, so that's x of value of we just want. So x is equal to solution. Solution x is equal to 11. So this is the solution to the equation. You want us to check if it's right?
Yes.
If x is 11, 3 times 11 is what? 33 minus 1 is 32. Gives you 2. You get that? Let me observe you. No, I was just testing out. Testing. Me, but okay, no, I'm sorry about that. No. You can hold it. You want to hold it.
Glad we keep quiet and on this.
Alright, that was a mistake. No, but no, it's based on what you were saying earlier. Alright, so this is the solution for x. So if you put x as 11 in here, we're supposed to get 2. So 3 times 11 minus 1 divided by 11 plus 5 is equal to 3 11 is 33 minus 1 divided by what? 16. 33 minus 1 is 32 divided by 16, you get what? 2. You got the right hand side, 2. So we have solved it.
Yeah.
But we solved it using f inverse.
Yeah.
You know other methods of solving it. right. All right. So time to move on. Ready to move on now? Composite functions. But make sure you know all this stuff that we're gonna. Ready now, ready to have some fun now, ready to have some fun. So, head up. Right off, composite. Yep. So if f of x equals ready now? Let's give you two functions. Right, okay. Okay. So I'm not going to make it too complicated today. I'm just going to give it a point. If f of x equals 2x minus 3 and g of x equals 5x.
What component function?
We're going to compose something by putting different things together. All right?
That's it.
Yep. Composite. If something is made up of a composite, different things come together. All right? So you're going to have different functions come together. What is it? What's like something? Oh, you're just talking this up, give me. All right, find one. Find f. Find f of g. 2. Find g of f. Ready?
Yeah, man, sorry.
Just prove something right now. Ready? So what? Do you understand what this is saying? Do you know what this is saying?
Yes.
You're gonna take what and put into what?
So you have to put something in something.
All right, guys. Okay, remember it this way. Are you paying attention? No,
Yes, sir.
guys. Whatever you're putting into what you we don't want to know, right?
Sir, just so we don't.
Go on, hold. We don't know what you're putting into what.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not talking about the math. You're talking about the personal
I was
experience.
saying I'm putting it right up to.
Yes, they're not putting anything in it. Can we focus on the math?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I ask you to work this, you take 2 and put into what?
F.
Into f function.
Yes.
So if f of x was 7x minus 2 then. Tell me what f of 2 would be.
7.
12. 12, sir.
12, when you take 2 and put in it, so you have 7 times 2 minus
2.
equals 14 minus equals
12.
12. What's your excitement?
I don't know why you're freaking out.
But,
Why are you freaking out? You're going to freak
so
out.
what about the FG now?
That's what I'm showing you now. So in this case, for f of 2, we took the 2 which is on the what? Left or right or left? The 2 is on the what? Left or right?
Left.
The 2 of the f here, so on the right.
Right, sir.
And you take it and you put it into the function. You
Yeah.
take the 2 and put it in the function.
Yeah.
So why are we freaking out?
So get to the point. Get to the point. Coming up. Let's get to the point.
The point right there, so the point is no.
What is F and G?
Exactly.
That should mean, sir.
The functions there,
So we're going to put.
So we use that.
Okay,
So we're
so
going to put the F and a G.
So we're going to put G to F.
So you're putting what's on the right. That's why I was making a distinction between right and left. So you're gonna take what is on the right and put it in what's on the left. That's what I was. That's the point I was making. Yes, I heard it, but other people saying question.
Let me just say it. And then she does the first.
No. You were saying get to the point.
But they put two there.
So you don't tell me when to get to the point. I get to the point when I want to get to the point. Are we understanding?
Yes.
So you're gonna take whatever function is on the
Right and put it the left.
yeah. So in this case,
Just don't have to be there.
Yeah,
in
you
this
know.
case,
Yeah, I think they're in the wrong class. HSB class, in a class.
Not just it.
can we continue?
Yeah.
So in this case, we are to find f of g.
Right.
We're gonna take the g.
Yes, I put into.
So anywhere. So we're gonna take the entire. Listen. The entire g function
Right.
and put it into the f function. So anywhere x is in the f function,
Put in the G
we put in the entire g function.
Okay, all right.
Ready?
Yes,
All right. Okay. Listen. So since we're gonna put the g into the f, which function are we gonna start with first?
F.
F, because f is gonna be our container, eh?
Right,
Then we're gonna
yes.
put something in.
Right.
So we're gonna write f of x is equal to what?
2x minus 3.
That's f of x.
Right.
But we're gonna put the g function now in the f of x, anywhere x is.
Okay, so we're gonna have 2.
So we're gonna have so I'm gonna write f of g now
Right.
equal
2
of
bracket 5x plus 1
yes
close bracket minus 3.
minus 3.
Yes. And then you just work it out.
Expanding
10x plus 2 minus 3
equals.
negative 1.
So that is f of g.
Okay.
So that's the composite
Oh, we
function.
try
f
the
of
one there now, sir.
yeah, you wanna try that one?
Yeah.
Alright, try that one.
If you would allow us.
Sure, try that one.
G of x. So what will you say?
Do the G.
So f of x plus g. Alright.
Bless you.
Alright, ready now?
No, sir.
Finish it?
No, wait.
Finish it. Well, this sounds like it's Monday, I don't know. You have to ask inside there. I don't know when I have class on Monday.
She wants to come.
Are we having class Tuesday next week? No, Thursday next week? No.
You were see the teacher.
Yeah.
So are we going
If I have a
to
customer
So one
service.
week holiday, man, that's fine.
From when?
we're not gonna
Next
tell you.
This Sunday is the last class.
This Saturday.
So you have class on it, right? Because when we get in on the sir,
What's the act Wednesday?
I forgot so that we do this is Friday.
We're gonna have downstairs.
You so long that take people money and
I just teach. I don't know anything about money.
So
Alright?
we have the teach.
want to keep your money, yeah.
We need them class.
Pro bono. Yes, no, pro bono. Pro
You're
bono.
not doing nothing for broke one.
Yes, pro bono. In the interest of for the public.
So
Huh?
when you go home, you're
Much agree.
No, Mrs. No. Your other voice in my other voice. Can we do it now? What's in the get? Let me see. Oh, let's work it out. Okay, you were saying something? I was in Goldilocks. And then forgot the name. Social name Goldilocks. Camera over here. Kid, why are you freaking out, kid? You want the problem? Let me see the problem. Why you don't work, kid? No, you were freaking out, kid. Stop it. You need to develop confidence. If you don't have the confidence, you're going to go in the exam and do the same thing. She don't look and say, boy.
Sir, I was writing out 10x.
Boy, in the right, in the right. I ain't going to scratch your head. Oh, right, you can't do that. You need to just get that, do the thing.
15 plus 1.
Get 15
plus 1.
That's what you got?
Sure.
Huh? We shall find out. I don't know. It's so hard. You're gonna help me do it now. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Ready?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
All right. So we're finding the second one. G of F. All right. Remember what I said? What you putting into what?
Putting the right into left.
We're putting it and then turn around.
Can we
Does it get?
do the putting part?
Yeah.
Putting part. So so we're gonna put the F function into the G function. So what are we gonna start with?
G.
The G is our container that we're putting something in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with the G. So G of X equals, therefore now G of F, no, that's the problem. It's equal to now 5, and what are we gonna put?
2x minus 3 plus 4
Equals
10x minus negative 15 plus 1 plus 1.
You know, don't sir?
That's what you said?
14.
10x minus 14.
Oh, me always saying this. I heard you say this. My ears are sharp. I'm like, really, I can't believe it.
Sir,
Don't worry. Don't hear it. Hold on. What? Oh, you get 2.
No, I'm not finished it yet.
Oh, myself, the plus one on it. This is the plus one. Calm yourself. Stages. Ready now. So, what can we simplify? This plus that is what? But then, what number is here?
Negative 15.
Yes, so the sign negative, not 15, or negative 15, plus 1. So it's equal to 10x minus, so that is zero.
So that's the answer.
So you always leave on the.
Terminate a new.
Sir, yes, sir. If you cut down on the length of it.
No, man, we might leave off x. No, so, all right, so we're putting the entire f function. We're putting the entire f function into the g function. So the f function is all of this. This is the entire f function. So that's what we're going to put for x in the g function.
Yes, so the G function has 5.
Yeah, the g function is 5x. So now the f function now replaces that x. So anywhere x is, you're going to put the f function, the entire f function. Are we understanding or are we freaking? I heard you.
No, sorry, you just want to come back because they didn't get the first one right.
No.
That is
I was just concerned about you. I was concerned. You were subtracting. Instead of multiplying. No. I have a problem making mistakes. It's natural. I'm a human.
Sir, you're recording.
I know you're making mistakes.
Just teaching.
Nothing's wrong with you. I just had the last one.
So you said you can't speak for the class. You said that at the
What?
beginning. That can't speak for you.
No, I said if you want me to get a sweet, because you were eating off science and stuff. Anyway, ready, guys, ready. We have something to do. You are going to find ready? I want us to find GF bracket inverse.
Sir, what is that?
Aha. I'm going to show you. So that's the inverse of GF. See?
Sir, do they want it?
Yeah, we find GF already, so we just need the inverse of this. That's it. No, I'm gonna do it for you. It's not complicated. No, I don't know why you're freaking out. All this is saying is the inverse of GF. Did we find GF a while ago?
Yes.
This is GF. All right, ready now. So if we're gonna find, are we listening?
Yeah.
If we're gonna find GF inverse, what are we gonna start with?
Oh,
What are we gonna start with?
10x minus G of X. G of X.
GF, G of F. Because I'm hearing G of X, it's G of F. No, F is F. That is GF then, eh?
Yes.
G of F. So, because we want the inverse of G of F, we're gonna start with G of F. Alright, so that is this. So G of F.
Sir, remember you get to the roundness.
Hey, listen, shut up, please.
Sir, remember that the class is being recorded.
So what? Anything I say, I can repeat. So what is the first step? The first step. What's the first step? Y. Says very good. So this now is just Y now. So Y is equal to 10. Next step.
X equals 10y.
Switch. X equals 10Y minus. What's the objective?
Make
Why
y.
is subject and function, sir?
So what we're going to do?
We are going to add 14 to both sides.
Very good. So X equals 14. Oh, thanks. Oh, they're looking on the board. Okay, fine, thanks. So add 14 to both sides. X plus 14 is equal to 10. No, man, I'm sorry. I just look on the board. I'm doing an exam. So go on, man. I know what to do. So we have 10y minus. Are we looking at the board?
Yes.
Minus 14 plus 14. So this works out to what?
0.
0. So on the left, we still have x plus
Let's
14.
divide by 10. So y equals
Sir, Mr. Gordon say you're going like a big teacher.
by 10.
I didn't tell anybody that. Just make sure that you are a big student. That's what you need to worry about. Negative 14 plus 14 is what?
The 0, sir.
So what is on the right?
X plus
10y.
10y is on the right. What is your objective?
Make y the
Make y the
subject.
subject.
So,
What are we going to do?
You should know what to do.
divide both sides by 10.
And that one and that one. So on the right, you left with
X plus 14 over 10. Y.
you know, when you guys go in the 6, it's the same thing happen here. 6, you say, find x, gone find y, eh? Read what you're asked to do, read it. And listen.
So, GF.
So this y now that we have found is what?
That's what the inverse. That's what the inverse.
So this y is now what? Is now what?
GF.
GF, GF inverse, man.
GF inverse.
That's x plus 14 out of 10. All right, we have 2 more things to do, and then a third thing to do.
But what, sir?
What?
Can I write out that one?
This man, right? Okay, you're gonna find something by. Oh, you're gonna find some inverses now by yourself. I'm not doing them. First one you're finding is
Can we just give the answer?
f inverse of x. Find that. Find that, and I'm not gonna work on the board. And you're gonna find 5
But
g
that's
inverse. Yes, of x.
which one are they?
These two. See, the same function. This one, find these 2. No, I'm not working on the board now. You know what to do. I put the name on this one. Please hold on.
You want someone?
Felicia, you're medicated tonight too?
Oh, gosh.
You're medicated, you know?
That's the way we're still
Oh man, no more. Email to you. Past paper. No, let me see. Past paper January. I emailed you. You get it? I don't really email it. Email to make it. It's a computer. Oh, you really? Sorry for you. Here you go. Reset. Everybody's ready now?
Yes, sir.
Are we still ready? Oh, you should be working. You should be working on these two.
So let it just say.
I'm not working on the board now, please. I'm serious. I'm not working them on the board.
All right.
Let's stay there. About it, are we understanding what is happening?
So which one we use?
Are we learning?
Yes, sir.
No, we're not pretending to learn. You find the inverse? What's it again? What is it?
So the next one is x minus 1 over 2 over 5.
First one, x minus.
X plus 3.
That is for G. That's for G inverse. What is F?
X plus 3 over 2.
That make it.
Yes. I did not show you to look at it and verify it. You can do it by side. No, I want this to be working. You know. See the F and G over this one. This way start. So we can continue now.
Oh, that's already. Where?
We don't find any inverse.
Yes,
No,
we
smart.
see that, sir.
What is happening?
Third one.
What is
The
happening?
excuse na, sir. Sir, man.
11 minutes. 11 minutes.
Sabi na kasi
It's not my thing, no? So F inverse is going to be x plus 3
over 2.
divided by 2. You need to show the working on it. But you could look at it. The last thing done was that you were subtracted, so we're going to add 3 and divide 2. That's the inverse of that. But G inverse, which you should work already, x minus 1 divided by, that's what you got? Everybody got that?
Yeah. When I get to
All right, ready to move on. Ready to move on. Something very important we need to prove. We need to prove something very, very important. So we now are going to do something else. We are going to find, let me draw this closer. We are going to find number 6 now. 6. I want you to find. I want you to find F inverse of G inverse. Aha. Any ideas?
Yes.
Sorry, we're going to down there.
What is the idea?
We're gonna put the G inverse into the inverse.
Very good. That means you're learning. Very good. I'm so happy for you. I can't believe it.
So do you, so who again, sir?
You know what I said? You take what's on the right. I'm putting it. So what's on the right?
G. Sa F.
Then take G inverse now and put it into F inverse. No, please notice this is different. This is GF. So you have to find GF first. Ready? You have to find GF first, then find the inverse. But later on, I'm going to share a secret. Never mind, that's
You're
right.
going to use them to wear. No.
Yes, so we're going to use these two now to work this. Very good, very good. Born again is learning. Very good, born again. Very good. Can we continue?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right, so ready. So we know that F inverse, I'm just going to write it back in case you forgot. F inverse of x is equal to this. X plus 3 out of, that's F inverse of x, cool. And G inverse is that cool? Right now, so we're taking what's on the right. So on the right, oh, we have G inverse. I'm going to put it in what's on the left. F inverse. So what are we going to start with? What is going to be our container? F what? F inverse. Now F inverse is up.
Yes,
We're putting G inverse into F inverse. So it's going to be now F inverse. We're going to start with. This is what we should know. So F inverse. Me? Actually, make for stuff. Huh?
yeah, with you.
No. I don't. Guys, I don't give and I don't take. Guys.
No, you don't give, sir, we know.
Good.
Even sweetie.
And give way to it.
Yeah, I just don't give to you. I just don't give you. Never mind. Oh, by the way, so this F inverse now, F inverse of G inverse now. Ready? So that means you're gonna take G inverse and put it in F inverse, anywhere X is, eh? So what is G inverse? All of this.
Yeah.
And that means that the F inverse of F inverse of G inverse is gonna start with all of this. Equal to
Yes, sir.
Nah, like, my brain confused.
Wait, hold on.
hold on to what?
Oh, put 3. I put 3 then.
Plus 3 divided by
2.
2, yes.
That's what, sir? Oh, this is gonna.
Aha! You freaking out? Are you freaking out?
Yeah.
Who is freaking out? We are. No need to freak out. No need to freak out.
Sir, very good. Yeah. Sir, never.
Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Let it simmer. Let it simmer.
Sir,
Simmering.
just do it there.
Is it simmering?
Sir.
It's not simmering. We're putting what into what?
Putting G to F.
G inverse.
G inverse to
Into?
F inverse.
Yes, so look now.
Sir, tell all this gonna.
Hold on, no, calm down. So we're putting G inverse into F inverse. So F inverse is X plus 3 over 2.
Yeah.
So all of this part, instead of having X, all of this is going to be G inverse. So G inverse is X minus 1 over 5. What is this?
And then all of that.
Plus the 3 divided by 2.
Okay. So all we work it out. So you done this one?
No.
It's just begun.
So repeat the part again.
You said the G inverse was the X over the 30.
X minus
No, G inverse is no, G inverse is this.
Yeah, X
G
minus 1.
inverse is this. And we are putting G inverse into F inverse.
Which is X plus 3 over
Yes, so anywhere X is in F inverse, we're going to put the entire G inverse.
Okay, plus 3. Oh, okay.
X plus 1 over 5 plus
A negative
plus 3
1.
over 2.
Because this was X in the F inverse, but we're
So it's like
replacing it
with
with the
two?
entire G inverse, which is that.
Sir, so that now, sir, you'll find the LCM.
One step at a time, calm down, one step at a time. So I'm going to rewrite it. Since you're freaking out, I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to write the numerator by itself. So I'm going to write X minus 1 out of 5 plus 3. And put this in a bracket. And this line means what? I'll write it this way so that you don't freak out. You freaking out?
No.
She doesn't want to freak out about. So this is a fraction plus a fraction.
Yeah.
Can we write this as square root of 1?
Yeah. Sir, people is lost. Some people lost.
Why are you freaking out? Why are you freaking out?
Sir, go up over there.
What about what? What part?
Everything.
No. What part you don't understand? What part you don't understand?
Everything.
No, hold on. Say you don't do this. You never do this. You didn't work for this. So you don't know to find inverse to Shika? No, I'm not smiling. I'm not smiling. You don't define the inverse. If I told you to find the inverse, haven't you been finding inverse for a long time? So what do you want me to go over? So I'm saying no, I want you to work out F inverse of G inverse. And I told you that all we're going to do, we're going to take what is on the right. On the right, we have a G inverse. I want to put it into F inverse. That means which function, what are we going to start with? We're going to start with F inverse. So F inverse is that, and we're going to put now the entire G inverse, which is this, into the F inverse. So anywhere X is, that is where we're going to make our substitution. So that's what we did. So instead of X, we put X minus 1 out of 3. That's where it will go. Anywhere X is, that's where the G inverse will go. So this is G inverse, and you're putting it into F inverse, where X is.
Oh.
I'm just proving something, so you have to worry about it. All right, so ready now. So
Put number 1.
I'm going to rewrite this as X.
How much are you writing?
So you just put the other one.
Guys.
Yes,
Number
sir.
1.
Well, who is rushing? Who is rushing? What is this? Nah. Guys, not because you understand it, everybody understands, right? It's that at one point, all of us were clueless, including myself, right? So you need to take it in stage.
That means that it's
So
right
you are
then.
learning maths, or you are learning math as women's.
Yes, very good, very good. Anyway, so division is the same as the multiplication and the reciprocal.
Yes.
It's going to be multiplied by what?
2.
No, 1
1
over 2.
over 2, yeah.
Because it's the same as 1 of 1.
Yeah.
You flip it, eh?
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, man.
Just remember, sir.
Okay, never mind. That's why you're freaking out.
No.
All right, so this is what we have. We agree with that?
Yeah.
Now we have two fractions here. I want to add them. What can we do?
Find the LCM, so we're going to use 5. So 5 times.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5.
That means I need a denominator of 5 here. If I want a denominator of 5, I multiply 1 by 5
Yeah.
and 3 by 5.
Yeah.
That gives me what?
50.
Out of?
1.
No.
5. Out of 5.
Okay, never mind. I have a solution for this.
So when we
Sir, work it
we just do it like we know, just write it 5 times bracket the x minus 1 plus the 3.
Sir, look like you're not even doing this one.
You can win now?
What could for you? Right.
No, you said I didn't do it either. So we're like, all right.
So
No, I was talking that. I was talking when I was
Alright, sorry.
a baby,
sorry.
right? What I meant, guys, was that at one point you were thinking we did not understand,
Okay. Yes, sir.
and I wrote extra stuff for you to understand. So now that I'm writing extra stuff for other people to understand, you just kind of keep yourself zipped, right, and pay attention. And you can skip, or you don't have to write everything I write. You decide what you want to write. It's as simple as that. Okay. So as I was saying, you could find LCM. So, but at this level, you don't have to draw a line and thing. LCM means finding the denominator. Get a denominator. Get the fractions have the same denominator.
right.
So what can we multiply this to get 5? 5.
Yeah.
So we do the same for numerator and denominator.
Alright.
So what we'll end up with, let me continue over here. What we'll end up with is going to be x minus 1.
Right.
X minus 1 out of what? 5. Plus
15.
5 is 15 out of
5.
5.
Yeah.
So are the denominators the same?
Right.
By the bracket multiplied by a half.
Yeah.
Are the denominators the same?
Right.
So since the denominators are the same, what can we do?
Just
Just work with the numerators.
exam.
So this plus that, eh? So it's going to be x minus 1 plus 15 out of 5 times a half. Looks better now?
Yeah.
Negative 1 plus 15 is what?
Negative 1 plus 15 is what? Negative 14.
Why is that?
No, positive.
Positive. Positive 14
Positive 14.
out of 5.
Out of 5 times a half. Alright, that become better now.
Is that everybody comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Are we seeing that? All right, so you weren't looking, so you're fortunate. No, you're fortunate. All right. So for the rest of us,
Yes, sir.
we have one fraction multiplied by another fraction, so we can multiply straight across.
Yeah.
1 times anything is the same thing.
Right.
So we end up with x plus
40
5 times 2 is.
over 10.
What did we just find?
F of
G,
that one. F
inverse, G is inverse.
So we found f inverse of g inverse. Now I want you to look at that and tell me what does it look like.
Computation.
So wait, I'm about to say it in a song. Oh.
Don't you see that it's the same thing?
Yes, for sure.
Is it the same thing?
So what sense would do it then?
X minus 1.
Sir, second one question. We have to match up.
I was proving something to you. But those of you who have a problem with the length, so I was proving something for you now, so you can note this. So note that GF. All right, okay.
So then we give it something like
So
this.
GF inverse is the same as F inverse of G inverse. That's what I need to know. You can know that. So if I ask you to work this one, you can work any one of them. It's the same thing.
Don't work the one there.
Sometimes this is a little bit difficult. You see how much fractions we had? So if I ask you to work this, all you need to make a statement and say, okay, this equals that, and work out this. Wasn't this easier to work out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So, sir, what are the chances of we getting something like that?
Just don't go to the exam and you won't get it, right? So FG now. So FG, tell me what this is going to be now. X is here. X should be here. So FG inverse is equal to what? Tell me.
FG inverse is equal to the same thing.
Sorry,
G inverse,
Thank you.
F inverse.
Very good, very good, very good. Now you're learning born again. I'm so happy for you. Amen, sister. Amen, born again. No, I'm not. I would normally work out both of them, but no. Just working on one of them. You'll get the same thing. So if so they're the same thing, all right? It's an identity. So if you have two functions and I say, okay, find GF inverse, it's the same as F inverse of G inverse.
All right.
All right.
So we're ready, Sally.
You know, right in here.
No.
If not belong in here, with you.
All right. So you need to know this. All right, guys. Do you notice what happens here? So if you have an FG inverse, it's going to be G inverse at the front here, then F inverse.
Why?
Because we just prove it, Mrs. We just prove it. You know, just prove it a while ago. You never see, man, write the wrong thing, you know. GF inverse is equal to F inverse of G inverse. Make please double check what you have to do. All right.
Sorry about it. Just care more.
What? Time is up?
Yeah, no, long time.
No, all right. Time is not up now. What, man? Are you, me I go with?
Sir, Shirley.
What you want to know? So we're leaving for the, okay, all right, if you're leaving, leave. If you're leaving, just leave.
So what time now?
How are you?
What time is it? No, time is not up. If you're leaving, I'll leave from another please, so we can see the rest of the board. All right, so
Sorry, yourself. Yeah, we're going to write for me.
Like what?
Yeah, please.
Man, it's not born again. You know what I have done, you know? Know that?
Sir. I'll have the blood of Jesus against you.
No, not this. Like a done here. Like a done here. Like a done here. All right, for those of you who are remaining,
Bye. HSP class. I tell you. Until later.
Let's take picture. Let's be Android.
find one.
I bring some around there.
So what is the order?
Do it for what do I want to do it for. Do it for whatever you want to do it for.
Whatever you like, I don't know.
Anything you want. Hi, then.
I say my game, I want today. In a drink that soup to them, man.
He's hungry.
Drink that soup.
Oh, you know that I'm spicy. How do you know that I'm spicy?
Just spitting fire.
Oh, well, I don't know.
The name of Jesus.
How do you know that I'm spicy? How come I'm spicy?
Excuse me, children.
Wait.
Wake up a kid when this is one class.
Alright.
The AC come back up. I start by the AC. The blow harder. Eh? Yeah, I'd say do this, and then when we come back, we do this alone and start trigonometry. Gonna see here. Oh, by the way, we'll come back.
The 19.
I don't know. This is the
Yeah, the 19.
yeah, man. We're talking about Thursday.
Welcome back.